Hey, it's Joe, the Smarter Dating Guy, and I've got another great Smarter Dating tip just for you. If you're the type of woman that's frustrated and feel that you're stuck and not creating the results you want, I'm going to give you some insight on how you can change that. And one of the best ways to create better results in our life is to start asking better questions of ourselves. See, what I find is that most of us ask very superficial, very weak questions. These are the two most common questions I hear all the time. What do I do and where do I go to meet a great guy? You know, the questions they're simply very general, they're very vague. They really don't help us. And so I find if you want better answers, you want to create better results, you've got to start by asking better questions. So let's take, what do I do to meet a good man? Okay. Again, very broad, very general. So and what you'll find, questions like that usually create a lot of confusion, a lot of overwhelm. We don't know where to go, what to do to start. But if we start asking better questions and we start going deeper, it helps us to create some momentum and takes us closer to where we want to go. So a great question, when I hear that, when someone asks me that question, I always turn around and say, well, why do you think you're not meeting a good man? And it kind of takes them a step back. What do you mean, me? Because, the reality is if we're not creating a result in our life, it's because we're doing something we shouldn't be doing, or we're not doing something that we're supposed to be doing. So very often a person like that, when they'll get clear, they'll say, you know what? Well, I keep dating jerks. Oh, okay, great. Why do you keep dating jerks? And then it's like peeling away an onion, and ultimately you get to the core. And it works the same way. So another great question is that, what's one thing I can do right now to meet a good man? And so very often the question is really to define, what is a good man to you? Get crystal clear, because one of the ironies in all this, and I don't mean to laugh because it's quite funny, but you say you want to date a good guy, and you date a jerk. Okay, guy who doesn't respect you, who doesn't call, who doesn't do what he says he's going to do. He doesn't give you the love, honor, and respect you desire and deserve on a consistent basis. Yes, he'll give you a little sprinkle, a little nugget of it here and there, but he doesn't give it to you consistently. And yet you tolerate it, okay? And then you say, but it's not what you want. Well, if you want to lose weight, you can't keep going to the buffet. That's simply not how it works. So questions of why do I keep going to the buffet is better than why do I struggle with losing weight? Okay? So asking better questions gives you better answers. And so the second question is what do I have to do to meet a good man? And so again, a great question is to identify, what is my ideal man? What does he look like? Okay. Describe him in detail, because now you've got a destination. Now you've got a direction on where to go. Okay. And then you start asking yourself questions like, where does a guy like that work? Where does he go for fun? Where does he exercise? Where does he socialize? Now you've got a whole realm of possibilities. And one of my favorite questions is that, who's connected to a man like that? Who knows someone like that? Who works with someone like that? When you describe a certain quality, you might realize, you know what? It's like, I have certain friends who have those qualities, because there's an expression, people hang out with people that they're similar to. We're all friends with people who are very similar to us. And so you're always one person away from meeting the man of your dreams. So start exploring who knows people like that, who works with them, who plays with them, who socializes with them, who does business with them. All these things will give you a better, clearer direction, and it will help you take better steps, better actions. And the really cool thing is that when you ask better questions, you understand what you need to do, and then you start taking little steps, and you start seeing results. You start seeing that you start finding good men. You start communicating to people and letting them know, this is what I'm looking for. And they say, oh, you know what? I've got a cousin like this, or I've got an uncle like this. You'll be amazed at what happens. And then you start creating something called momentum. And momentum is when you stop feeling disgusted and frustrated and start realizing that there are good men out there. And it's simply a matter of finding the right one. So I'm going to give you a little homework assignment. Okay. What I want you to do is I want you to write down 3 questions that go deeper. Okay. That really will help you discover the answers that will help you solve your problems. Because I believe that deep within you is a part of you, your gut, your intuition, that knows all the answers. But what happens, our minds and all these mental programs that we've created throughout the year and that society has conditioned into us as how it's so difficult, how it's so hard, how it only happens to other people, how it's just not in the cards for you. All this shit that gets put in our mind, we buy into it and we believe it and we live our life consistent with it. And so these asking better questions will help you discover those mental roadblocks and obstacles which are standing in your way and which will help you find the answers that you're looking for. So that's your homework. Write down your 3 questions, and if you want to put them down below, share them, with others and with me, and I'll give you some feedback and maybe help you ask some even better questions. As always, we're here to help. If you know anyone who can benefit from this video here today, please pass it forward. We'll see you next time. Have a great weekend. God bless.